Here's a bold statement. Recognizing Palestinian statehood could be seen as rewarding violence, or could it be a step toward peace? This is the explosive debate that erupted after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu condemned Western nations for their recent diplomatic moves. But here's where it gets controversial. While Netanyahu argues this sends a dangerous message, others see it as a necessary push for a two-state solution. Let's dive into the details, and trust me, this is the part most people miss. Summary: Netanyahu slams Western countries for recognizing Palestinian statehood, claiming it legitimizes violence against Jews. Dramatic walkout during his UN speech highlights deep global divisions. Hostages not forgotten. Netanyahu vows to secure their release, even as pressure mounts from families and a war-weary public. In a fiery address to the UN General Assembly, Netanyahu didn't hold back. He accused France, Britain, Australia, Canada, and others of sending a chilling message: murdering Jews pays off. His words were a direct response to these nations' decision to recognize Palestinian statehood, a move they argue is crucial for reviving the two-state solution and ending the nearly two-year-old war with Hamas. But is this a fair assessment or an oversimplification of a complex issue? The conflict, sparked by Hamas's October 7, 2023, attack that killed 1,200 Israelis, has since claimed over 65,000 Palestinian lives, according to Gaza health officials. Netanyahu's government, the most right-wing in Israel's history, remains steadfast in its refusal to accept a Palestinian state, even as international isolation grows. Here's the question: does recognizing Palestine reward Hamas, or does it pressure all sides to seek peace? As Netanyahu took the stage, the room was divided. Scores of delegates walked out in protest, while others gave him a standing ovation. Outside, pro-Palestinian protesters clogged New York streets. Inside, Netanyahu accused world leaders of caving to biased media, radical Islamist constituencies, and anti-Semitic mobs. Yet he also revealed a surprising irony. Behind closed doors, many of these same leaders privately thank Israel for its intelligence services, which have thwarted terrorist attacks in their own countries. So, why the public condemnation? Netanyahu's speech wasn't just about politics, it was personal. Speaking in Hebrew, he addressed the hostages still held in Gaza. "We've not forgotten you, not even for a second." He even had loudspeakers placed at the Gaza border to broadcast his vow directly into the enclave. But will this be enough to satisfy the hostages' families and an increasingly skeptical Israeli public? Meanwhile, former U.S. President Donald Trump, a key Netanyahu ally, has hinted at a deal to end the war and free the remaining hostages. However, his optimism seems at odds with the months-long negotiation stalemate. Is this just political posturing, or is a breakthrough truly on the horizon? The stakes are higher than ever. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, speaking via video after being denied a U.S. visa, condemned Israel's actions as a war of genocide and called for Hamas to be disarmed. Some of Netanyahu's hardline ministers have floated the idea of annexing parts of the West Bank in response to growing recognition of Palestine. But Trump has flatly rejected this, stating it's not going to happen. Could this create a rift between the two leaders? Analysts warn that annexing the West Bank could unravel the Abraham Accords, Trump's landmark deal normalizing relations between Israel and several Arab nations. So, is Netanyahu risking his alliance with Trump to appease his far-right coalition? As the world watches, one thing is clear: this conflict is far from over. What do you think? Does recognizing Palestine reward violence, or is it a necessary step toward peace? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments.